Nintendo is a company that's primarily known for their amazing games, but one of my favorite things about Nintendo is their music. Nintendo has such great music from Gerudo Valley to Gangplank Galleon, but what Nintendo song is the best? That's the question I hope to answer today. By the way, I'm Dash, make sure to subscribe because most of you are not, and let's get going. So, to figure out what the best Nintendo song is, we first have to figure out what makes a good song. I personally believe these things make a good song, and I feel like I should mention that I'm no musical expert here, but I think saying some ground rules will help to show what I think makes a good song. Anyway, I first think a good song should have a good range of instruments. So many songs I hear nowadays just use guitar and drums in basic, generic ways, so I want to hear something that feels truly unique to the song. Next, the song should have a reason to exist. One of the reasons I like video game music so much is because there's usually a reason behind it. For example, TOTK's main theme goes higher than Breath of the Wild's because one of the new additions in Tears of the Kingdom is the Sky Islands. This works because instead of trying to make the song the most catchy thing possible, like a lot of songs on the radio these days, these songs have a purpose in their game, and without them, the game wouldn't feel the same. Next, this is more of a me thing, but I like it when songs have a deeper meaning. I like it when songs have a deeper meaning because it gives you a reason to listen to that song hundreds of times, so you can figure out what the true meaning of that song is. Last, I think a good song should have something I'm calling the peak. This is the part of the song that everyone loves. For example, You'll Never See It Coming in Persona 5's Last Surprise, or the part of the Colgera theme where it calls back to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. These peaks are the best part of the song, and are what can truly make a song stand out. And one last thing here, but I don't think for a song to be good it has to have lyrics, but for the purposes of this song, it does have lyrics. Now, let's take a look at some Nintendo series that could be in the running for this competition for Nintendo's best song. Well, to start, there's always Zelda, which has had consistently great music in almost all of its games, but I feel like there's something missing. I feel like there's not enough deeper meaning in most of its songs. But hey, maybe that's just me. Then there's Fire Emblem, which has some good music, but I haven't really played through any of the Fire Emblem games, so I won't be taking a look at that series. Hey, what about Splatoon? That game has some unique music. I wish it just had a bit more story in its music, however. Let me see here. Pikmin, good music, but no. Mario, still good music, but no. Xenoblade! Xenoblade. Of course. Why didn't I think of it earlier? This series has phenomenal music. Like seriously, have you ever listened to Xenoblade music? You will know our names alone is better than some games' entire soundtracks. Metroid Dread. Anyway, this series has some amazing music, but which song is the best? The song that has reached all the criteria listed above and more. Well, let's first take a look at Xenoblade 3's soundtrack. This game probably has the best music in the entire series from a technical standpoint, as it combines music from the first two games to create fantastic new tracks. And this game uses flutes in a lot of its music, as they are very important to the story of the game. This also helps to give its music a very unique sound, but which song is the best in this incredible selection of tracks? Well, two songs that come to mind for me are Where We Belong and A Step Away. Both of these songs are incredible and meet all the criteria I previously mentioned, but I feel like there's a song in the Xenoblade series that tops them all. Well guys, I just can't figure out what the best Nintendo song is. There's just too many. But, wait, do you hear that? It sounds like One Last You! This is it, guys. This song has it all. It's such a masterpiece, and there's so much here, and everything just works. But where do I begin? Well, I guess I'll start by saying major spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming up, so click here if you don't want spoilers. I'll start by talking about the story and the meaning of the song. Now, one of the reasons I believe this is Nintendo's best song ever made is because of the story it tells within the song. Now, I know there's a bit of debate within the Xenoblade community on if Numa kept her memories or if she lost them after the events of Xenoblade 2, but for the purposes of this review, I'm going to say she lost them. Anyway, I believe this song is talking about how Numa felt before she lost her memories. I believe this because the song talks about the last day with you, most likely Rex, and how she wants the sandglass to take back the time, so she could tell, most likely Rex, how much she loved them. Not only does this song tell a story within the song about the internal struggles of one of the best characters in the game, but it also does something which I have never seen in any other game series, which is that it uses music to fill in the part of the story that was never mentioned anywhere else in the game, which is extremely unique, and I really wish more games would have more musical storytelling. Next, I want to talk about this song's reason to exist and where the game would be without it. This song is so important to the game it's in, and without it, the ending of Xenoblade 2 would not be nearly as impactful. Imagine if the ending of Xenoblade 2 just had Counterattack playing in the background. First off, Counterattack is a great song, but it would completely ruin the theme they are going for with this part of the game, since the ending is pretty sad, and if they were playing the epic Counterattack song, it would completely ruin the moment. But the reason the song exists is because, 1, it helps to elevate the scene of which it's in, and it provides context to an element of story we did not know much about, and 2, it acts as a final send-off for one of the main characters in the game. Overall, this song might have one of the most important reasons to exist out of any song in Nintendo's history, because without it, this scene would feel completely different and most likely a lot worse without the song. But now, I want to talk about the peak of the song, and wow, it's so good, and I mean so good. Like, maybe the best peak in any song ever. I don't know, that might be a bit of a stretch, but listen to this. What did you think of that? Incredible, right? There's just so much going on there, from the lyrics to the amazing vocals by Jen Bird, and not to mention all the instruments in the background that help to elevate everything. The peak of the song is just so incredible because not only does it sound absolutely amazing, but it also has a lot of story significance which helps to elevate the song to even higher heights than most Nintendo music. Lastly, I want to talk about all the instruments that are used in the background of the song that help to elevate everything. Now, I couldn't find all the instruments that were used for the song online, although some of the standouts for me were the guitar and drums. And you might be saying, Dash, I thought you said you didn't like how many songs just use guitar and drums, and you're right, but the difference here is that the guitar and drums are played in such unique ways that fit the music instead of just having a generic beat throughout the whole song. And the guitar and drums beautifully flow with the song, which is very unique compared to most modern music I hear nowadays. And on top of that, there are other instruments beside the guitar and drums, like the piano. This song has so much going for it, and I love that this song not only has a great peak, instruments, and story, but it's also just a great sounding song. Wow, One Last You is such a good song, and if you haven't heard it already, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. But anyway, check out the video up on screen, and I'll see you next time. Bye.